Well, Anthony Davis, a huge win for you guys. Down 27 points. How did you start to chip away until you put yourself in a position to get the win late?
Well, this team made a lot of threes. They came out hot, shooting the basketball. We had great contests, according to our analytics, making them make tough shots. And that's why, they get paid for it. Tim, Luka, Irv, they made some big shots. So we just wanted to continue to, stay in our defensive game plan and hope they miss. And we were able to get some rebounds and play in transition. We're a good transition team getting out and running. Vando obviously started it all with his ball pressure on Luka, get some steals, and kind of turned us up defensively, and we were able to come back and get a good win for our team.
You mentioned Vanderbilt, so in that third quarter alone, he has 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, just everywhere. Yeah. What do you like about him in that fit next to you and LeBron?
His activity. Man, you can put him 1 through 5 defensively. He knows how to play when God's trying to leave him, and help because, he's not a good shooter. But he made him pay tonight with a 3, and then his activity when we catch the ball in the pocket or in the pick and roll, with the back cut. So, offensive rebounds as well. I mean, he compliments us well.
And then crunch time offense late. LeBron was getting to work in the post, and then you had a couple of great moves. Got the jumper to go late. What were you looking for in those situations?
Being aggressive. Our guys, Malik, jumper. From last game, he was hot and kind of cooled off a little bit, but, had some good looks. Austin hit a big 3. Dennis with some great plays. So, late game, me and Bron just want to, get what we get to, and that's our pick and roll action, and one of us making a play, and we're able to get to it tonight.
All right, trip going the right way so far. Got to keep it going, right?
Want to know.
It's huge, man. It was a huge shot in the arm, the way we were able to continue to scratch, claw, fight, compete. It was some tough, depressing moments in that first half, but, as they were building their lead. But the big thing we kept stressing was just we can't stop competing, we can't stop defending. Continue to try to hold them to one possession when we can and get it and play fast, play downhill. And the guys never got discouraged. They had that look of frustration, but it wasn't a look of defeatedness on their faces. Everybody just wanted to stay encouraged, and as my staff, they're awesome. Just bringing the positive energy, clapping it up for the guys in the midst of chaos. But, we got the lead 14 going into halftime and then had a huge defensive third quarter, and I thought that set the tone for the rest of the game.
You mentioned the third quarter, Vanderbilt had 8 and 3 steals just in that period alone. How critical was he?
Man, his defense on Luka, his activity, his energy, him getting us extra possessions, him getting big defensive rebounds, Dennis's activity as well. But Vando, that's a tall task, to try to manage that matchup. As skilled as Luka is, one of the top 5 players in our league, easily, hands down. He was up for the challenge. He took the challenge and just tried to make it as difficult as possible for him. And that's why he's here, to create havoc with his energy and his efforts, and his size and athleticism, his quickness, all of that was on full display tonight. He's good. He's our medical people are looking at him right now. He'll get reevaluated again in the morning, and so once we get some type of official word tomorrow, we'll go from there. But as of right now, he's good.
Did you hear him say that he had heard something pop? That was kind of.
No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear him say that at all. So.
You guys are down 27 at that point. I think Dallas is like plus 40 from the 3-point line. Normally, it would take some shooting to get back into the game.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, you guys only got just a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you guys turn this game?
I just think we walked them down, man, with our aggressiveness. Again, going to the basket, really living in the paint, forcing them, to play a more physical game than they probably wanted to. AD was phenomenal. Bron had his stretches phenomenal. It just and that was the thing. You look at the stats, and we only make 6 threes. They make 20, and we still come up with the W. The free throw line, we try to use that as a weapon. To try to constantly, again, play downhill, force the referees to make calls, and to force them to defend us without fouling. And we were able to do that. And again, we didn't settle. We did not settle. So 62 points in the paint is huge, and I think that was one of the ways. And we played faster. We began to play a lot faster.
Darvin, thinking to that I mean, AD had 2 huge buckets down the stretch, and then with the turnaround jumper after he's screaming, I'm a bucket. That swagger from AD, we've seen it at various points this season. Have you been looking for that since he came back to his injury? How good is it to see?
Absolutely, it's great to see. You know, I know he's having fun again, playing pain-free, and that's when you see it, when he's really emotionally, spiritually involved in the game, not just physically. And we tried to ride him a little bit, and feed him, calling his number continuously, and he delivered. And he just changing shots. Defensively, rebounding, getting out, really going to his spots, knowing what he wanted to get out of each offensive possession. It was huge. He was Wilt Davis, as I like to nickname him. Wilt Davis was on full display today.
Team-wise, down 27, what changed? What got you guys going, and how did you kind of keep the foot on the pedal there?
It was just, we come in at half, and we liked how we finished. I think the first last 3 minutes of the second quarter got some momentum, and then after that it was just chip away. If we play good team basketball, we're going to have a chance to win the game, and that's what we did. We don't see you too often get it in someone's face in the context that you did with Green there. I wondered kind of what your mindset was at that time, and any other thoughts on that interaction? I don't have any thoughts. We was just playing basketball, competing, so it's a fun part about the game. Is there any part of just the competitive fire that you guys needed to get back into it, that you wanted to make sure not to step back at all? And was it any part of what the energy in the building was? I feel like I always play with high intensity. I try to play every game like it's my last. So something was said and I didn't really like it. So it was a good basketball game.
What was that?
I don't remember.
You blacked out?
No. I don't remember. Did we win?
Austin, what's it like playing with a guy like Jared, who doesn't touch his necessarily to affect his energy defensively? And how important was he tonight for you guys?
He was amazing. A lot of the times I'd say don't look at the stat sheet, because he does all the things that don't really go into the stat sheet, but I think he had 17 rebounds, 15 points, and all 4 assists.
4 steals.
Okay, even better. To have a guy like that can affect the game in so many different ways, and then guard the other team's best player for however long he was on the court is great, and we're glad to have him.
Austin, obviously the team was very different, but you guys had a 25-point comeback this year. What are some of the common threads and what do they say about the team's belief, even when you guys are in a hole pretty deep?
Yeah, it's the NBA, and there's a lot of talent and a lot of opportunities to get back in games, especially with how teams shoot the three-point shot. Obviously, we didn't shoot it great tonight, but we always know, you got LeBron, AD, you always have a chance. So, like I said, it was all about just chipping away, making it a game, in the fourth, and, ultimately trying to win the game, and succeeded.
That third quarter alone, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, defending Luka. What was your focus on both ends of the court, and what were you feeding off of?
I really was just trying to up the intensity, just be a little bit more physical. I knew we needed it at that point. So, just trying to bring the energy, bring the effort, and just try to change the game momentum-wise. Obviously, shots wasn't falling early on for us. So, we was able to, get out and run, crash the glass, get some steals, force some turnovers, and that kind of just changed the game for us.
How are you feeling at this point, just since the trade? You've come here, things have been going well individually, the team 20 games. What's your zoom out a bit mindset right now?
Jared, you have
Okay. I think each and every game we've gotten better. We've got more chemistry. So just trying to keep building in that right direction as we keep progressing. I can see the chemistry getting there, each and every game. So like I said, we need every game right now. So just continue to fight and playing every game like we need it. And I think we did that tonight.
Jared, last game you guys had some superior three-point shooting. This one, I think the Mavs ended up with 13 more threes than you guys. What do you think the last 2 wins say about the variety of ways in which this team can win and the different paths to winning?
I just think we're a deep team. I think we can win in a variety of ways. Like tonight, we didn't make no shots, but I feel like we was, good on the glass and transition, and we got a lot of different guys that can play a lot of different ways and impact the game a lot of different ways. So I think tonight, even though the shots wasn't falling, we didn't get discouraged. We kept playing, we kept fighting, and like I said, I think we killed them on the glass and then transition.
When you go into a game against Luka Doncic, what are you trying to stop? What are you trying to take away? And after that first quarter, what did you kind of change up?
My mindset was just to make him uncomfortable. He's a hell of a player when he's comfortable and he can get in his rhythm and get into his zone. So I was trying to disrupt that and just picking him up, 94, just making him work. I knew throughout the course of the game he was going to get tired, get fatigued, just bringing the ball up and down and all the whole court and then try to, make a move after I'd already, cut 8 seconds off the clock. So I knew it was going to get tiring, but my thing was just get up in him and, force him to drive and just be physical with him and make him uncomfortable. And I think, second half we did a good job of that without fouling.
Do you like that challenge every night, whether it's Luka or someone else? Is that something?
I do. I like that challenge every single night. Being able to guard the best player, no matter 1 through 5. I think I'm capable of doing that, and I think that's my value, my impact on this team, and I look forward to those matchups, every single night.
Giovanna.
Jared, you and AD combined for 32 rebounds tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you guys are kind of figuring it out in terms of how you can really be physically imposing and on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, it was a lot of rebounds on the table tonight. We didn't make no shots early on, but so that's part of the reason why we both got that many rebounds. But I think just being a force on the glass. I think this team was a little bit smaller, so we knew that. So we were going to take advantage on the glass, and we did that. I think that what kept us in the game. Those second chance points and usually when shots aren't falling, we got to find another way to impact. And I think we did that.
Dave.
Jared, you play with such energy on the court. Is there anything in your pregame routine, like you listen to a certain type of music, you have an energy drink or anything like that gets you amped, ready for tip-off?
Actually, before the game, I kind of calm myself down. I, either read or meditate or something like that. And then, right before the game, I might take some energy or stuff and just really just pep talk myself just to get going. And I feel like that's all I need. And obviously just watching film, I know, especially if I have a big matchup that night, that already itself kind of get me going. So, and I just love this game. So it's not much that I need to get going. I know I get to play basketball for a living, so that's enough, energy for me right there.
To get the foot ankle question out of the way so we can talk about the game. You were down for a little bit there, obviously stayed in and finished the game out. How does it feel and any different from the last couple weeks?
It's been better. That's for sure, but definitely wasn't going to go to the locker room and not finish the game out tonight. Understood the importance of the game and then the momentum that we had. I felt like we could, steal one after being down. But we monitor the next couple of days, see how it feels, and go from there.
With your foot obviously being significant to how the team's going to do, just setting that to the side for a second, how encouraged have you felt by, since the trade deadline, essentially getting the new guys in the lineup, getting a tough win like this, and how would you zoom out and view what you guys are at right now?
I feel like we're in a good place, so we want to try to continue that.
For both of you guys, having a player like, Jared Vanderbilt, who wants the challenge of Luka Doncic, who doesn't need the ball to play with energy, how valuable is that for a team that's trying to win and win meaningful basketball?
Very valuable. Being down 27-14 in at half, and he comes out and set the tone for it defensively on Luka, getting some steals, making him shoot some tough shots. His rebounding on both ends of the floor. They just started a effect for our group to lock in defensively. And on the other end, he know guys like to play off of him and make him shoot, and he know how to play off of it. With his corner cutting and crashing to the glass, getting us extra possession. So his value for our team. You can't even put it into words, what he brings and does for us. So having a player like that definitely helps us. Same thing.
AD with some of those shots, the dunk and then the turnaround over Luka. At your best moments with this franchise, we've seen sort of that swagger, that confidence kind of come out. Was tonight the most you've felt that since coming back from your injury, and where's your confidence at in terms of feeling like you can reach that ceiling of a player that we've seen this year?
My confidence is always high. Tonight our shooters, us as a team, wasn't shooting the ball great, and so I just able to want to be a little bit more aggressive. We were running some plays where I was able to catch the ball and make decisions. So just coming out being aggressive and doing what I have to do to help the team win. And then just, making reads from there, whether it's, going to a pick and roll, or shooting the ball or making a play for a teammate. So, I just want to come out and just be aggressive each and every night.
Dang.
LeBron, I do have a Vando follow for you. His length, his size, speed, athleticism, all that is so apparent when you watch him play. But is there anything IQ-wise, instinct-wise that you notice from him, the way he approaches it?
I think some guys in our league, when you're not great at something, teams are able to use that to their advantage defensively and either sag off of you or play off of you, or you're able to. Sometimes you play an offense it's 5-on-4 or whatever the case may be. His basketball IQ and his intelligence of being guarded this way for so long has actually used it to his advantage. So him, like AD said, being able to. Teams turn their head because they're not paying attention to him because they don't think it's a threat. Goes back door for a layup, as you saw in the fourth quarter, on a reverse. Teams are not accounting for him, when shots go up. So you saw the 8 offensive rebounds that he had, and then his energy, his effort, alone. He knows where to be on every single possession, and he knows how to utilize teams not accounting for him as an offensive threat. That is basketball IQ in his own right. And that's what makes him the player he is.
Last two, Johan.
Question for both of you. You guys had 17 offensive rebounds, 62 points in the paint. In kind of remaking the roster at the trade deadline, you guys got a lot bigger and more athletic in the front court. Do you feel like tonight was kind of an example of the team you can be in terms of just being physically imposed in the paint on both sides?
Well, I think the game will dictate what we need to do. Tonight, offensively, from the exterior, we wasn't not shooting the ball extremely well, so we have the ability to now look at ways we can be good. Okay, if we can't shoot it well, we need to still get the ball popping, but we need to drive those closeouts. We need to, get the ball in the paint. We need to get offensive rebounds when we're not shooting well. So, to be able to have that ability to be able to say, okay, if we're not shooting well, we can still be in the game. We can still be productive. That's the key for our ball club.
All right, Mike, you got a follow-up?
Yeah, just with Vanderbilt in a lineup with you two, and you guys are can be bigs defensively, but also can switch out to the perimeter. It seems like he can do the same. And maybe some people didn't realize that. What does that allow you to do defensively? And how do you kind of figure that out amongst the three of you when you're in the half court and guys set screens? They're calling different people over to switch, stuff like that.
Yeah, it gives us a lot of freedom. It's things that. We probably couldn't have done earlier because we were just so small. But now you got Vando, me, Bron, and we're able to talk about it on the floor. Like, okay, do we want to switch this? Vando, how do you want to guard it? And make it as comfortable as we can for all three of us. If all three of us in the action, he was guarding Luka, and if me and Bron, guarding 2 screeners, then we might just, read it all the way down the line. It just depends with the floor of the game. If we need to stay in coverage, he's good enough. Vando is good enough where he's able to fight over a screen and still chase and get back in front. So it gives us a lot more freedom on the defensive end to be able to have a bigger, lineup with Vando in there and myself and Bron.
Thank you, sorry.